Kondosan.
Once upon a time, Wicked Wolf was wandering through the forest. While doing so, he thought of a clever idea. But to carry out his plan, he needed help.
Stylish? Stylish! Hey, Stylish, where are you?
The wolf entered Stylish's house and found her designing new clothes.
Can you make a chicken costume for me?
A coat with chicken feathers? Or a hat with a comb?
No, a chicken costume. I need it for a party that I'm attending.
Stylish got suspicious of the wolf's request.
I haven't heard anything about a party. Where will it be?
Well, it'll be downtown, but it's only for wolves.
Oh, okay. I'll do my best then.
Stylish Goat worked day and night collecting chicken feathers in the coop. After some hours, she finished sewing the costume.
Wow, it's really beautiful. I look like a chicken.
You don't look so fashionable, but if this is what you wanted, then...
No, it's wonderful. I bet not even a rooster could tell me apart from the rest of the chickens.
Rooster?
Did I say rooster? No, I meant my wolf friends. Yes, that's it.
I think you're up to something, but I have a plan too.
The wolf went home. When it got dark, he put on the costume and snuck into the coop. He was going to trick the chickens and steal their eggs. The wolf got inside the coop, but the chickens weren't there.
I didn't need the costume after all. Anyway, those eggs are mine.
What are you doing, Miss Chicken?
I was going to warm up the eggs. They couldn't get cold.
We don't want strange chickens in here, okay?
Yikes! I'm leaving! Don't get upset! Help! Help!
Silly wolf. Did you think you could fool me? That's right. Run! Run away!
Once upon a time, on an ordinary day, Stylish Goat had no idea what was about to happen.
Stylish! Stylish? Stylish!
What is it, Wolf? Is there a fire or something?
Yes, there is! A fire in my heart! That is stylish!
What?
I asked Tay-Tay, the beautiful she-wolf, out on a date and she finally accepted. We will have dinner tonight.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Wonderful, yes, but I need new clothes for the occasion.
That's no problem.
I also need to find good food.
That's no problem either.
I have to look very handsome.
Now that will be a problem. Okay, it's a joke. Before we take care of your look, we need to get rid of all that smell.
My smell? Don't I smell nice?
No, you don't. You smell like sour milk.
Ooh, you might be right. What can we do about it?
Stylish had an idea to get Wolf clean.
Go in, get in the lake. I said go in. I'll wait here. Now it's time for some cologne. Oh, yes. Now go get some honey from the beehive. Okay, so the honey didn't work out. Go get some milk from the cow then. I guess we should get some strawberries. Cut them. Mash them. Mix them. Ah, wonderful. You can get ready now.
How do I look?
Don't forget the cologne. Oh, nice. Now you look amazing.
Wolf found a beautiful spot in the woods and set everything for the picnic. He waited for Tay-Tay with flowers in his hand, and when she arrived...
Calm down.
Nice to see you, Tay-Tay.
Nice to see you too. What is that smell? Strawberries? Wolves don't smell like strawberries. I don't even want to look at you. Shame on you, Wolf.
But I did it to smell good for you. Did we use too much?
Sorry, Wolf. I didn't know that Tay-Tay liked the smell of our sour milk. There will be no cologne next time, I swear.
Once upon a time, in the deep sea, there was an underwater kingdom. The king watched over the kingdom along with his 6 beautiful daughters and his elderly mother. All the sea creatures lived peacefully and happily together. All 6 daughters of the king were beautiful. But the most beautiful one was the little mermaid. She had long red hair and ocean blue eyes. Their father would gather them around his throne every night, and they would chat while sipping their seaweed tea. The king's greatest fear was that his girls would fall under the spell of the sun and choose to live above water. Because when a mermaid turned 18, she was allowed to swim to the surface and watch the world while enjoying the sun and the wind.
My dear girls, according to the rules of our sea kingdom, it is forbidden to talk to humans. Their lives aren't like ours. We belong to the sea, and they belong to the land and air. Don't ever go near them.
But Father, even if they're different from us, I'm really curious about humans and want to see them.
Of course, my little girl. You're almost 18. By listening to my word and without breaking the rules, one day you two will be able to go to the surface and watch the world while enjoying the sun and the wind.
The Little Mermaid's sisters would always tell her about everything they saw when they came back from the surface. You know what, little sis? There's a wonderful breeze up there. The sun is really warm. As huge ships pass by, we play with dolphins, and we sunbathe on the rocks without letting anyone see us. There was nothing the Little Mermaid could do but to daydream and wait for her 18th birthday.
I'm so excited, sis. I know I have to wait. In the meantime, I spend my time playing with Yum Yum and make pearl necklaces. Of course, for myself and you.
Yum Yum was a dolphin and was the Little Mermaid's best friend. At times, they would leave the palace to play tag at the bottom of the ocean. Yum Yum can't catch me, if I hide can't find me. Yum Yum can't catch me, if I hide can't find me. Yum Yum can't catch me, if I hide can't find me. Yum Yum can't catch me, if I hide can't find me.
Yum Yum, come find me. Yum Yum, bet you can't find me.
Come here! Stop! Don't swim too fast! I'm going to catch you! Come here! Don't run! Don't run! I'm gonna catch you!
You need to swim faster. I don't get it. Are you a turtle or a dolphin?
Am I a mermaid? No one can swim as fast as you. Come on, let's have a swimming race. Why do I even bother when I know I'm going to lose? Silly me.
Don't say that, Yum Yum. Maybe you'll win one day. Never mind, let's race another time. Can you bring me back some more pearls? I want to make necklaces and bracelets for my sisters.
While waiting for Yum Yum on her oyster bed, the Little Mermaid's grandmother arrived.
Grandma, can I ask you something? Do humans look like us?
No, they don't, my dear granddaughter. Humans have legs, and they use them to walk on land. If they don't know how to swim, they can drown in the sea. We also live longer than they do, and we can also live on land. Don't forget, my dear, when the day comes and you go to the surface, make sure no one hears your voice. Because one of our most important features of our voice is that it's magical.
So, I won't be able to sing at the surface? What's the harm in it being magical?
Those who hear your voice won't be able to leave. Their ears won't hear anything but your voice. They will wait until they see you. Come on, it's very late, and that's enough information for now. Good night, my dear.
Finally, the big day had arrived. It was the Little Mermaid's 18th birthday.
Happy birthday, my little girl.
Happy birthday, little sis! The whole family took her amongst them, celebrating her birthday. The Little Mermaid was so excited. She was going to go to the surface and see the world. She hugged her father goodbye and started swimming with Yum Yum towards the surface. Her father was shouting after her in concern.
Don't forget everything I've told you. Yum Yum, look after my daughter.
Are you sure, Father? I will be looking after Yum Yum, because I'm faster than him.
Goodness, she didn't wait for me again.
Finally, the Little Mermaid reached the surface of the sea. She was now sitting on a rock in the middle of the sea and watching the world, and was admired of what she saw.
My goodness, the sky is so blue. The wind feels so wonderful. The seagulls are such beautiful creatures. Everything's so new to me. They're even more beautiful than my dreams.
Be careful, my princess. A ship is about to pass by. They're not supposed to see you.
What's that? It's so huge.
People can't swim in the water for long and can't breathe underwater. When they swim slowly. Even the fastest of them can't keep up with a ship. That's why people have been using ships since ancient times, both to travel and to carry loads.
And who's the one watching the sea in front of the ship?
I think this is a ship from the kingdom above, and that must be the prince of that kingdom. Be very careful. He's looking this way.
Suddenly, the Little Mermaid felt like singing. With her magical, wonderful voice, she started singing.
Princess, what are you doing? I hope the prince doesn't hear you singing. If not, he'll never leave until he finds us. Do you know that?
But the Little Mermaid couldn't help herself, and she kept on singing. She couldn't help herself from the prince's charm. The prince was also enthralled by the voice of the Little Mermaid.
What a wonderful voice. The girl who's singing must be just as beautiful. Point the ship towards the rocks. The voice is coming from over there.
But, my prince, it's very dangerous to sail the ship towards the rocks. It might hit the rocks and get damaged. The weather's also turning, and there might be a storm any minute now. Are you sure?
I need to find that girl. Do whatever it takes.
Yes, your majesty. Head towards the rocks. May God protect us.
The Little Mermaid hid behind the rocks. The prince didn't see her, but saw the pearl bracelet that she had dropped while escaping. He shouted out to his men.
Quick! Go on to land and bring me that pearl bracelet. She was a beautiful mermaid, I'm sure.
As he was looking at the pearl bracelet in his hands, suddenly a terrible storm began. The sea blackened, thunder struck, and the huge waves caused the ship to hit the rocks and shatter. And the prince fell into the sea.
Help
Yum Yum,
me.
the prince fell into the sea. Hurry, we need to save him.
The Little Mermaid and Yum Yum dived into the sea and saved the prince, taking him to the shore.
Please open your eyes. I saved you. Please. Please.
As they waited for the prince to awake, he slowly opened his eyes. The first thing he saw was the little mermaid's beautiful ocean blue eyes.
You saved my life. Thank you.
Then he saw the pearl necklace around her neck and immediately realized that she was the mermaid on the rock that he heard the voice of and was enthralled by, and the owner of the pearl bracelet in his pocket. With joy,
What a wonderful miracle. I searched for you all over, and now I owe you my life.
right at that moment, soldiers running to the shore saw the prince and the little mermaid. The little mermaid quickly jumped back into the sea, and Yum Yum followed. The soldiers immediately took the prince to the palace and told the king everything that had happened. Every day, for hours, the prince watched the sea from his balcony, wondering if the little mermaid would come back again. The little mermaid who returned underwater was so unhappy that she stopped eating and drinking. She shared her secret with Yum Yum, her best friend.
Yum Yum, please go to the beach and bring me news from the prince.
The prince watches the sea from his balcony every day, and I think he's waiting for you to go to the shore. We must do something. But what?
The king was very furious when he saw his daughter like this, but was also very sad.
My dear, you have broken the rules of the sea. You were not supposed to get close to any humans. You should have listened to your elders. What's happened to you?
But Father, aren't you the one who said that we must act kind to all creatures? If we hadn't saved the prince, he would have died.
Yes, you are right. But, according to the laws, you shouldn't have approached anyone. You are grounded.
The king grounded the little mermaid, forbidding her to go to the surface. The little mermaid was very sad and couldn't stop thinking about the prince. One day, Yum Yum came to the little mermaid.
Well, I actually know an octopus, and he knows a witch who can make miracles. If you want, we can go and tell her about our problem, and maybe she's able to help us. What do you say, huh?
Then let's go right away. I was grounded for 1 month, and it ends today. I can go to the surface again.
They quickly swam together and went to the witch's cave. It was a dreadful place filled with snakes, scorpions, and spiders that could live underwater. The witch wasn't so different from them. She had an ugly face and a terrifying voice. She met them at the entrance of the cave.
I know you, little mermaid. Tell me, what do you want from me?
I should have 2 legs just like humans. I must go to the surface. I want to find the prince and walk and dance with him on the beach.
What you ask of me is very easy. I can give you 2 legs and 2 feet like humans, but you must give me something in return. Do you agree?
I agree. I'll give you whatever you want, as long as I can walk and dance with the prince on the beach.
Finally, the opportunity the witch had been waiting for had arrived at her doorstep. She had never liked her voice and always wanted to change it.
Since you've agreed, you must give me your voice in return.
Okay. Please give me 2 feet right away. I must go at once.
I'm going to give you a potion. You can drink it when you go to the surface. Your feet will grow right away. But this spell will be broken in 3 days. If the prince doesn't propose to you within 3 days, you will turn into a mermaid again. But we'll never have your voice again.
The little mermaid and Yum Yum grabbed the potion and went straight to the surface. The little mermaid drank the potion and suddenly she had 2 legs and 2 feet. And she started to wait for the prince to arrive. At that moment, the prince went out to the balcony. The minute he saw the red-haired girl, he ran to the beach.
Hi, I'm the prince of this country. You look like that mermaid I've been looking for. But you have feet. You can't be her. So who are you?
The poor mermaid opened her mouth to explain what had happened, but she had indeed lost her voice. She was so sad. The prince, seeing her in such a desperate state, felt sorry for her and took her to the palace.
How strange. Same blue eyes, same red hair, and the same pearl necklace. But you're not a mermaid and can't talk. To whom does this pearl bracelet belong?
Meanwhile, the prince's father had found a princess for the prince to marry and was pressuring him. The poor mermaid, frightened and sad, was waiting for the marriage proposal from the prince.
What if he never understands that I'm the mermaid he's been looking for? What if he never recognizes me? I'll be turned back into a mermaid again. A mermaid that can't talk or sing. My games with Yum Yum will also just be a dream.
The third and last day of the spell had come. The little mermaid went to the beach and was crying as she watched the sea. But Yum Yum didn't wait around. He had already went underwater and told the king everything that had happened. In anger, the king along with his whale soldiers went straight to the witch's cave.
If you don't give my daughter's voice back immediately, I'll imprison you in a whale's stomach for the rest of your life.
But we had a deal.
As your king, I command you. Give my daughter her voice back immediately.
The witch, with fear, agreed and opened a glass bottle. And the little mermaid's voice was set free. Suddenly, the princess's magical, beautiful voice spread all throughout the sea.
La 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 la.
The little mermaid, who was crying on the beach, suddenly heard her own voice coming from the sea.
Oh my god! This is my voice! I can talk now.
Then she saw her whole family sitting on a rock, waving and blowing kisses at her. The little mermaid was now a girl with an amazing voice and with feet. The king called out to her from the rocks.
Love is sometimes more important than all the rules, my dear. Go run to the prince and introduce yourself and be happy from now on, as your family will often come here to see you.
The little mermaid ran to the palace excitedly. She told the prince everything. The prince, having found the mermaid he had been searching for, proposed to her right away and placed the pearl bracelet on her hand. The prince and the little mermaid got married, and the little mermaid was now the princess of the land too. Every morning when the little mermaid woke up, she would call out to her family in the sea from the palace balcony and say thank you for everything and wave to them. The prince and little mermaid princess lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a faraway country, there lived two brothers, Ali Baba and Kasim. Ali Baba, a poor woodcutter, was a kind and honest man. Meanwhile, Kasim, the older brother, was a jealous and greedy man with an evil heart. One day, as Ali Baba was cutting and collecting logs in the forest, he saw a large group of horsemen coming towards him. Trembling with fear, he climbed up a tree. Even his donkey got so frightened that the poor thing hid behind the bushes.
Good heavens! 1, 2, 3, 40 of them! I guess these are the infamous 40 thieves who steal gold and jewels from others. I had better stay up here until they are gone.
Ali Baba curiously started to watch the 40 thieves. The leader of the thieves got off of his horse in front of a rock and shouted,
Open sesame!
With a loud crashing sound, a big rock that served as a door opened up and the men entered the cave.
I had better not climb down the tree, I'll just wait here. They all had saddlebags. They probably keep the stolen goods inside the cave. Oh God, help me.
Frightened and bewildered, Ali Baba didn't move a muscle and remained silent. After a while, the huge rock reopened and the thieves came out.
Close sesame!
The thieves left, riding their horses again. Though Ali Baba was afraid, he was extremely curious. He climbed down the tree, walked to the entrance of the cave, only after he was certain that the thieves were gone. He said the magic words.
Open sesame!
The cave's door opened with a rumbling sound.
Wow! It opened when I said the magic words too.
Ali Baba entered the cave a little hesitant. It was dark inside. A narrow passage led to the depth of the cave. After walking for a few minutes, he reached an open space. This was where the thieves kept all their treasure. Ali Baba was amazed by what he saw. He couldn't believe his eyes. All the gold, jewels, and coins the thieves had stolen were piled up. He was so astonished.
Gosh, this is where they keep the stolen goods. What a big treasure. God knows from where and whom they stole all this. Whatever, I'm taking a sack full of this and leave before the thieves come back. Open sesame!
He got on his donkey and rode back home. When he got home, he told his wife everything. She rejoiced immensely at their great fortune, but was also very nervous.
Ali, these gold coins are not ours. I think we should bury them. We'll figure out what to do with them later.
You're right, I guess, but I wonder how much gold we have here.
So do I. Should we count it?
Counting piece by piece is no good. Ask my brother Kasim to lend us his scale. We'll weigh them and then hide them.
The next day, Ali Baba's wife went to Kasim's place to borrow the scales.
Good morning. Can I borrow your scales?
Kasim's wife was a very curious woman, so before handing the scale to Ali Baba's wife, she placed chewing gum underneath the scale pans. She wanted to know what they were going to weigh. When Ali Baba's wife returned home, she handed the scales to Ali Baba and they started to weigh the gold. And then they buried them in the garden as they had agreed. The next day, they returned the scales without noticing that a golden coin was stuck to the gum underneath the pan. Both Kasim and his wife were surprised when they found the gold coin.
Good heavens! Where did my brother find these gold coins?
I have no clue. I thought they would weigh flour or something else, but they were weighing gold.
I have to find out. I'll get the truth out of him.
Since he was a greedy man, he rushed to Ali Baba's house to find out where he had gotten the gold coins.
Hi, Ali. Something weird happened. I found a gold coin stuck to one of the scale pans. You are a poor woodcutter. Where did that gold coin come from?
Ali Baba did not want to answer at first, but since he couldn't lie, he told his brother everything. Knowing how greedy his brother was, he warned him in advance.
Don't you dare go there. Those gold coins are not ours. The thieves could kill us if they found out.
All right. You're such a coward. That's why you are and you'll always be a poor woodcutter.
Since Kasim loved money and gold so much, he ignored his brother's warning. He got 2 donkeys and rushed to the cave Ali Baba told him about.
Open, sesame!
The door immediately opened. He was so mesmerized by all the gold before him that he started rolling on the heaps of gold.
Hooray! I am rich! I am rich! Hooray! I am rich!
He loaded the crates with gold and walked to the exit. But once there, he couldn't remember the magic words.
What am I going to do now? Was it rice? Open rice. No, wheat it must be. Open wheat. Could it be potato by any chance? Open potato. I got it this time. Open tomato. Oh no! It won't open. What was it?
Kasim tried his hardest to remember the magic word when suddenly the door opened. The thieves were back. They caught Kasim red-handed.
Who are you? What are you doing in our cave? How did you get in?
My name is Kasim. I am Ali Baba's older brother. He told me about your cave and sent me to get more gold. Please forgive me. I am innocent. Go get Ali Baba instead.
Despite what he said, the leader of the thieves tied Kasim with a rope.
Now, tell me where I can find this Ali Baba.
Scared out of his mind, he did as he was told. The leader of the thieves didn't want anybody to know about their secret cave, so he wanted to find Ali Baba to imprison him in the cave. Kasim didn't return that day, so his wife was concerned. She went to Ali Baba's house and told him that Kasim hadn't come back. She was very sad. Ali Baba suspected what might have happened. Right before leaving, he noticed there was a cross painted on his door.
What is this sign?
I think I know what it is. I'll be right back.
Being a clever woman, Ali Baba's wife understood that the thieves had marked their house. So she came up with a plan. She painted a cross sign on every door in the neighborhood in order to confuse the thieves. At midnight, when the thieves came to the neighborhood to get Ali Baba, They saw that every single door was marked with a cross. They couldn't tell which was Ali Baba's place.
All the doors are marked. We can't find Ali Baba. We have to get back.
The next day, the leader of the thieves found out exactly where Ali Baba lived. He hid his gang of thieves in 40 barrels and filled the 41st barrel with oil. He knocked on Ali Baba's door.
Good evening. I'm an oil merchant. I come from very far. Can you let me spend the night here? In return for your kindness, I'll give you a barrel of oil.
Being the kind-hearted man Ali Baba was, he wanted to help, so he let him in.
Sure, come on in. We were about to have supper. You are welcome to join us.
They sat at the table. While Ali Baba and the leader of the thieves were eating, Ali Baba's clever wife grew suspicious of the man. She went down to the cellar and checked the barrels.
Are you in there?
Yeah, is it time? Shall we come out?
Not yet. Wait for my instructions.
Ali Baba's wife realized what was going on and rushed to the kitchen. She boiled some oil in a pot and poured it onto one of the barrels. The thief that was hidden in the barrel screamed in pain when he got burned and ran out of the house. This alerted the other thieves, who also left the house upon hearing the screams. Only the leader of the thieves remained, but he was also scared now and directly gave the order.
Get out of the barrels now! It's time!
To his surprise, he saw Ali Baba's wife holding a scoop full of boiling oil standing in his way. To avoid the same fate of his gang, as he tried to escape, Ali Baba and his son caught him and tied him with a rope, and they turned him into the authorities. Now it was time to save his brother Kasim. Ali Baba rushed to the cave.
Open sesame!
Kasim was inexplicably happy to see his brother.
Thank goodness. I no longer care about gold or coins anymore. I was scared to death. Get me out of this place, Ali Baba, please.
I told you should not covet so much of worldly goods. It may cause you a lot of trouble.
Thanks to Ali Baba, the thieves never returned to that country. The gold coins were distributed equally to all the residents. Their country was blessed with abundance. Ali Baba and Kasim lived happily and peacefully with their families. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a woman who desperately wanted a child, but could not bear one. She cried every day from sadness. One day, as she cried, a fairy appeared before her. "Why are you crying? Tell me, maybe I can help."
I have no one. I want a daughter. She would be a friend to me.
Okay, don't cry anymore. I'm going to give you a seed, plant it, and place it where it can get plenty of sunshine. Also, sing to it every day. When it grows and blooms, you will see a surprise. The woman did everything as the fairy said. She sat by the flower pot and sang to it every day. One day, she saw a small sprout. Soon after, the sprout turned into a pink rosebud. The woman was so joyful and happy. One day, as she was smelling the rose, she kissed it. Suddenly, the rose petals slowly started to unfold. Inside was a blonde-haired, pink-cheeked little girl as small as a thumb. She was so shocked and delighted. She realized why the fairy had given her that seed. She immediately took the girl into her palms and started talking to her.
My beautiful girl, welcome to your home. I'm your mother. Your name shall be Thumbelina.
She immediately made a cradle for her out of walnut shells. a bed out of violet leaves and a blanket out of rose petals. Thumbelina was so happy with her mother. She sang songs and danced with her. Her mother filled a cup with water and placed some walnut shells inside. Thumbelina would ride around with the leaves and shells for hours. Time passed, and Thumbelina had grown, yet she was still tiny. One night, as Thumbelina was sleeping in her bed, an ugly frog entered through a gap in the window. He stared at Thumbelina as she slept.
Oh, she's so beautiful, just the perfect girl to be my daughter-in-law.
He slowly picked her up and placed her next to the pond in the garden. His son immediately ran towards his father.
This girl who is to be my wife is so beautiful, father. Let's keep her on this lotus flower until we prepare everything so that she doesn't escape.
In the morning, Thumbelina, who opened her eyes on the lotus flower, noticed she was in the middle of the pond, was very scared and so started crying. All the fish in the pond that heard her voice swam towards her.
Why are you crying? What's wrong?
What am I doing here? I was happily sleeping in my bed. I open my eyes and I'm here. I want to go home to my mother.
That ugly frog and his son put you here. Apparently you're going to get married. Don't you want to?
No! Help me, please!
All the fish started gnawing at the stalk of the lotus flower rooted at the bottom of the pond. As the stalk broke, the lotus started drifting with the wind. It floated all the way to the side of the pond. But this time, a beetle living on the tree saw Thumbelina.
Oh, an interesting insect that doesn't look like us. Let me take it home so my friends can see it too.
He immediately grabbed Thumbelina and took her to his home in the tree. His friends were very surprised.
It looks just like a human. Take her away. We don't want her in our home.
The beetle thought he had upset his friends, so he took Thumbelina and left her in the forest. Thumbelina, who was incredibly hungry and thirsty, was trying to drink water from the flowers. Since she couldn't find anything to eat, she felt weak. The weather was also extremely cold, so she started shivering. Her clothes were even for summer. She walked for a long time to find some shelter. Finally, in front of a small pile of soil, a door appeared. She knocked on the door with joy. An elderly lady mouse opened the door.
I'm very cold and very hungry. Please take me into your home.
And who are you?
My name is Thumbelina. I'm gonna tell you everything that has happened. But first, can you please take me inside? I'm so cold.
Come on in, beautiful Thumbelina.
When she went in, Mrs. Mouse fed Thumbelina until she was full. And she told Mrs. Mouse everything that had happened to her one by one. As they were living together, one day, someone knocked on the door. They had a visitor.
Oh, welcome, Mr. Mole.
Thank you. And who is this beautiful girl, Miss Mouse?
Let me introduce you. This is Thumbelina. We live together now.
Very nice to meet you, sir.
Admiring the beauty of Thumbelina, Mr. Mole was now visiting Mrs. Mouse's house every day. He would bring lots of gifts and food to get Thumbelina's attention. After some time, Mr. Mole decided to speak to Thumbelina.
Thumbelina, I like you very much. I'd like to marry you and start a family. That is, if you would like to, of course.
Mr. Mole, thank you very much. You're a gentleman, but I'm not thinking about getting married.
At night, Mrs. Mouse wanted to speak to Thumbelina about this. She thought Thumbelina could be happy.
You don't want to get married, but let's just go to his house together. If you change your mind, you'll see what kind of a home he'll be living in. What do you say?
Actually, Thumbelina didn't want to marry Mr. Mole because moles live under the ground without seeing the sun. This was not appropriate for her. She was a girl of sunshine. Thumbelina didn't want to break Mrs. Mouse's heart, so she followed her and headed straight to Mr. Mole's home. But before they got there, they saw an unconscious pigeon on the way. Thumbelina ran right over to it. She wanted to know what had happened. When she carefully examined it, she realized that the pigeon's wing was injured. She rushed back home, grabbed the first aid kit, and returned to the unconscious pigeon. She dressed the wound and wrapped it tightly. The white pigeon that opened her eyes even managed to drink some water. "I'll never forget your kindness, Thumbelina. One day I will help you too." At night, Thumbelina talked to Mrs. Mouse.
Dear Mrs. Mouse, there are a few things I need to tell you. First of all, I don't want to marry Mr. Mole. He belongs to the underworld and me on Earth to the sun. Also, thank you so much for everything you've done for me. You saved my life, but I missed my mother and my home very much. I will ask the pigeon to take me home as soon as she heals.
Okay, Thumbelina, as you wish, as long as you're happy. Anyone in my place would have done the same. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Same here, Mrs. Mouse. I will miss you very much.
A few days later, the pigeon was healed. "I'm better now, Thumbelina, and I need to go. Do you need anything?"
Yes, I would like to ask you to take me home. Can you do this for me?
"With pleasure." Thumbelina bid farewell to Mrs. Mouse and climbed on the pigeon's back. They flew up in the sky. In order to not fall from the wind, Thumbelina held on tightly to the pigeon. They finally arrived at Thumbelina's house. Mrs. Pigeon dropped her off among the flowers in the garden, and she thanked her again as she soared towards the sky. Thumbelina, who was finally home after months of being away, ran to her mother and gave her a big hug. Her mother was overjoyed.
God, what a beautiful day. I'm so happy. We're finally reunited. Welcome, my beautiful girl. I've missed you very much.
I've missed you too, Mother. I'll tell you everything I've been through. Let's never be apart again, okay?
After all that had happened, Thumbelina never went far from the home. And she played with the flowers in the sunny garden. One day, she noticed a very special, sparkling, beautiful flower like the sun.
Wow, what a different flower. I don't think I've ever seen it around here.
Thumbelina jumped from flower to flower and approached that flower. And right at that moment, the petals of the sparkling flower opened up. Thumbelina, who saw a handsome tiny man just like herself, was shocked.
Oh, who are you?
I'm this garden's fairy. And you, beautiful girl, who are you?
My name is Thumbelina. My mother chose this name because I'm so tiny. This is our garden, but I've never seen you here before.
Both the flower fairy and Thumbelina had never come across anyone their own size. With this astonishment, they liked each other at the first glance. As time passed, they would wander around the garden, play games and spend time together. And one day...
Thumbelina, I'd like to ask you something. Will you marry me?
Thumbelina was very happy upon hearing his proposal, because finally someone who she loved to spend time with, whom she could always live with among the flowers, and if she married, could live close to her mother, had proposed to her.
Of course, my prince.
As a wedding gift, the flower fairy sprinkled Thumbelina with fairy dust, and all of a sudden, Thumbelina had wings. The flower fairy and Thumbelina lived happily ever after in her mother's garden.